Hello everyone! I know a lot of people are waiting for the new servant tier lists for this year because I've been getting so many questions about them. First of all, I want to say a thank you to everyone who watched the lists from last year and for an overall amazing reception the videos got. Every single one had people leaving nice comments even if they disagreed on the placements. Now, you can probably already see it from the title and the thumbnail of this video, but yes, I am glad to announce that I will indeed be making new versions of the lists for 2023. And the format remains the same, where I cover one class at a time since the videos will be lengthy even as is. More info on when these lists happen and a bonus teaser at the end of this video. Now in this video, I plan on going through all my placement criteria and disclaimers so I don't have to repeat all of them at the start of all the lists. So this video is always something people can refer to when it comes to all the servant tier lists of this year. I will most likely leave little cards on the videos during the intros that people can click on that lead into this video. So for the most part, the criteria and disclaimers will be the same as last year, so let's get over those first. First and foremost, I don't claim to be an expert, nor do I claim that my rankings are anywhere near objective. I'm just one random guy that happens to play this game for a living, and I've played both NA and JP for well over 5 years now, so I'd like to say I have a good grasp about the respective situations hovering both versions of the game. Every servant release will be included as of when I record the tier lists, including JP servants and all the buffs that they have too from that version of the game. The main placement criteria is based on what I think the servants do the best and how well they do it. And if some servant happens to excel in multiple roles like damage dealing and supporting, they will probably gain some bonus points. Related to the previous one, comparison between peers will also weigh in on the placement. So if you have, for instance, two SSR AoE sabers of the same card type, I will definitely compare them between each other in the placement. Different rarities are not to be compared directly for placement. This is a big one and I really want people to remember it. Just because a 4-star servant is ranked higher than a 5-star servant doesn't necessarily mean they are automatically better if their roles and classes happen to align. Comparison will mostly just be done between the same rarity. Now, of course, if a lower rarity servant actually does something better than a higher rarity one, then they will obviously get bonus points for that. Another really important one is that the servants will be ranked assuming they are at MP1 for non-welfare 4 and 5-star servants, and mostly assuming MP5 for 1 to 3 stars and welfares, with some exceptions that I will mention when they get placed. This should be an obvious one, but this is a list based on gameplay, not a favorite characters lists. I will also try to be as unbiased as I can when it comes to my favorites. I'm making this before the lists are out, but the placement order should be based on rarity first and release date second, so from lowest rarity to the highest. When I publish the stream recordings later as videos, they should have timestamps written down by yours truly, in case you want to jump around for specific servants and don't feel like watching the full things. And finally, some placements are subject to changes near the end of the list. So when I'm done with the initial placements, I quickly review them and see if I want to adjust anything before I show the final rankings. Those are the disclaimers and criteria moving into the lists. If you were redirected here from one of the tier list videos, you can now return to watch that one. Before I close things off here, I will mention a few things that will affect the placements and will most likely shift a lot of servants compared to last year. The changes with the biggest impact will be additions of new supports that enable more options for servants, and the other big thing is the introduction of new quick chains and mighty chains. Depending on the servant, these changes will be from barely noticeable to really big. As to when these 2023 versions of the lists will happen, they will start next month after Lost Belt 7 is done on the JP server, because we are probably still getting several more servants from it. And finally, as a little teaser to spice up the waiting time, I am glad to announce that this year it won't be just me blabbering on, but my dear friend and fellow content creator, Mr. Plushie Mistress, will be joining me in talking about all the servants and giving his take on placements as well. Don't worry, we will still cover all servant kits and everything in detail first, like usual, and then we will have brief discussions from our own POVs regarding the performances of the servants. I will still have the final say in the placement as these are my lists, but his opinion can certainly help influence my decisions. Now, Plushie most likely won't be in every list as he is still very busy with his studies, but I will have him on with me as often as I can. So there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little teaser and PSA video about the disclaimers on criteria. This is the first time I'm actually more excited than nervous in making these as the reception was so good last year. I can't wait to get into talking about servants for hours on end again, and I hope you guys will like it too. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already because you don't want to miss out on these fun videos. With that, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace out.